was returning back to the city of Jerusalem, he became hungry. Now stop. Now I want to draw your attention to the words, he became hungry. And I just want to use this to insert a very important truth for those of you who need to be reminded of this. Now we do know theologically that when Christ was on the earth, that he was God in the flesh. He was the Son of God. Hear me. And oftentimes, or the majority of times, whenever we talk about the Lord, or whenever we preach about the Lord, or whenever we post about the Lord, we generally talk and preach and sing and post about his deity, about the fact that he was God in a body. But I like the fact that Matthew mentions here that Jesus became hungry as he was walking towards Jerusalem. Because the fact that he was hungry, this one word reminds the reader of the humanity of Christ. That when Christ was on the earth, hear me, he was fully God and he was fully human at the same time. This is a theological term called the hypostatic union. The fact that deity became merged with flesh and became a God-man, a human being who was God in the flesh. I only mention this to you so that I can remind some of you that because Jesus was a human being, listen, he is intimately acquainted with all of your emotions and your suffering. There is nothing you will ever feel in your heart that Christ does not understand. If you've ever felt weary, he understands that. If you've ever felt betrayed, he understands that. If you've ever felt tired, he understands that. If you've ever felt frustrated, he understands that. If you've ever been, if you've ever been hurt in the context of a relationship, he understands that. If you've been through a divorce, he understands that. If you're in a difficult marriage, he understands that. I mean, the bride of Christ, we make things difficult for him all the time. If you've ever been praying and felt like the Father can't hear me, he understands that. If you've ever been frustrated, he understands that. And I just want to encourage somebody under the sound of my voice that there is nothing you would ever feel or nothing you're feeling right now in your heart, no trouble, no sorrow, no heaviness of heart, that the Lord cannot understand, that he lived a human life for 33 years just without sin.